All right, what's going on, people? This is the Cornerstone Podcast. Subscribe, like, comment, and share the content. You follow us on YouTube, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iTunes. This is another installment of the What Do You Do series. So, live from the Lone Star State, I got very special guest, D. Taylor. How you doing?
I am well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you for coming out and talking to me. Just kind of explain some nuances about your profession. So, you was just doing a workout class tonight. So, how did that go?
It was good, but brutal. It was circuits, so
Oh, it's like what you call that? The CrossFit stuff like that.
not exactly CrossFit. Just rounds of different exercises. We do for like 60 seconds and then rest for 15 seconds, and
Mm-hmm.
just do that for about 20 rounds.
Oh, so
So,
roughly like 45 minutes total workout.
right.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
So,
not sure if my body can stand that type of impact. I mean, I do like my own little tailored workouts, and I also do the Peloton. I would do the Peloton on
okay.
average, maybe 15 to 20 minutes, as far as like a post workout
Hmm.
lying down type of workout. So, but yeah, I mean, I tried to get Irv to get a Peloton. He was like, well, he don't got like enough room because y'all got so much equipment at y'all's gym. So,
Yeah, that is all him.
yeah.
I'm barely in there. I mean, I want to get in there and just start lifting, but mostly I walk. So
Walk.
doing the
Yeah.
circuits classes, that's like a 1 to 2 times a week type of thing.
Yeah.
And
Walking
it's
is good.
been a
Yeah,
while.
yeah,
So,
walking is very underrated. I
hmm
wish I can. Well, actually, it's nothing prevents me or anyone from like doing, basic walks. But I need to do them more often, especially once the weather breaks. Then I could take the girls out. I bought them like a Power Wheels, like Barbie camper thing over Christmas.
okay.
So right now it's in a basement. So I just gotta have someone help me bring it upstairs because I still gotta assemble the whole thing together.
Okay.
So right now
Okay.
it's more like a drop top in the basement, and there periodically we just ride it down here since it was kind of cold. But like, yeah, I gotta clear out the garage and just store it in there so they can just just ride on out the
Hop in it.
garage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
um and y'all had
That's
a
cool.
vacation. Y'all had a vacation last week.
Yes. We were in Denver, Colorado,
Oh, how was
and
that?
it was nice. We actually went there to try snowboarding. So Irvin has done that maybe 20 plus years ago,
Mm-hmm.
but this was my first time trying it, and it was it was brutal. I fell so much. It was fun though, but I don't think it's for me. I think I want to try skiing next.
Yeah,
So,
they say that skiing is easier. I always wanted to try both, but I just never got the chance to even do it. Because I mean, when I was stationed in California, people went up to Big Bear all the time, in
hmm
Northern California, but just never got a chance to do it. So I was just into going
yeah,
to the beach and doing all that clubbing and stuff. So
yeah,
so so anyway, yeah, the
yeah.
reason why I got you here is to kind of talk about your profession. So tell the audience, what do you do and how long you been doing it?
So I am a registered dietitian, licensed in the great state of Texas. Um, I have been a dietitian for going on 7 years now.
hmm
So, and I currently work in the renal nutrition dialysis world. So,
Okay. So your patients are people that has dialysis?
so yeah, my patients have ESRD, which is end stage renal disease.
Uh-huh.
And so they are needing dialysis pretty much as a kidney replacement
Mm-hmm.
3 times a week. So to clean and filter their blood, remove toxins and extra fluid from their bodies.
Mm.
Yeah, so it is a big life adjustment and it is life saving for them. So
Right.
it is, Hmm.
Now, like when I asked you what you did for a living, and when you told me, I always thought that nutritionists and dietitians were like very synonymous, but is it like a major difference between the two?
So there is some overlap, and yes, people do interchange the names. However, the major difference is pretty much the credential. Uh, the whole registered dietitian comes with, um, what can I say, a licensing exam or a credentialing exam.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas nutritionists, anyone can call themselves that. They can have some formal training or they could just be self taught. Whereas a dietitian, they have to have a 4-year degree, go through 1,200 hours of supervised hours, like an internship,
Mm-hmm.
and then take a credentialing exam and then pass that, and then possibly get a license depending on the state that you want to work in. So there's
Mm.
more regulations involved with being a dietitian versus just a nutritionist.
As far as the qualifications, is it varied from state to state? Because I can imagine Texas being a red state. It's like less red tape versus being in like a blue state.
So, ironically, no. Um, the credentialing exam is national, so it's across the board.
Mm-hmm.
However, license licensure, that's what varies from state to state. So, like California, I believe, and Colorado, they don't require you to have a license. However, you do have to take the credentialing exam. But the majority of states do require you to apply for a license in order to practice and have that title as registered dietitian.
Okay.
But so
So.
yeah, there's not really like red tape per se.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like the major difference.
Okay. Now, like
What?
the maybe the best way to describe as far as like the differences between the two is like the registered dietitian is like a RN and then nutrition is like a CNA. So, is that accurate?
Well, not even because a CNA, and you actually do have to take a credentialing exam for
But you get my
to
point
be a
though, right?
CNA.
But you get my point, right?
Mm, I mean, because I'm not trying to knock
I'm not.
them
I'm
because
not trying to throw shade on nobody. I'm just trying to say like you have to go through extensive hours to like have your title. You earned that
right.
title. But a nutrition, I mean, I could be a nutritionist. I mean, I would call myself that. But I
Yeah,
didn't. I
and
didn't
some
go through
people
the.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's good nutrition. There's bad. But right now, I may be a bad nutritionist because I eat a lot of junk food while I'm trying to
Yeah.
still do workouts. So it's kind of like defeats the purpose. But anyway,
Yeah.
what made you have a passion in going into the field to be a registered dietitian?
So I honestly did not even know about this profession growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I actually wanted to become first a doctor, when I was a little kid. And then as I got older, I discovered PA, so physician's assistant,
Mm-hmm.
and tried to pursue that. That did not work out. So I was about to turn 25, and I guess I was having maybe a midlife crisis of some sort.
Right.
And I was working, 3 different jobs and wanted to do something different upon turning 25. So I decided to run a half marathon. And during my training, I randomly took an intro to nutrition course at a local community college. And pretty much day one in that class, I fell in love with the information and just, I mean, it sounds corny, but just the power of food and how it could help or hurt your body. So from that moment on, I'm just like, I think this is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I started, Googling, researching. And that's when I discovered, okay, there's actually, I don't want to say legit, but there is actually a career, the field of dietetics. and I could become a registered dietitian and not just a nutritionist.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so it
Well,
kind of started from there.
I mean, I'm a firm believer that food could be used as medicine. I mean, right in the like in the Western world. I mean, food is it's too much leisure. I mean, we just have an abundance of like bad food. I mean, that we could get from vending machines and so many fast food joints. So, but like the art of like cooking your own food and adding your own spices and not having the excess of sugars and salts and the other bad
Hmm.
stuff. So it just seems like in 2022, like the lost art of like making your own food and kind of catering it to like a more healthy diet lifestyle. That's actually kind of like going away for whatever reason. I mean, obviously there's the propaganda of like the commercials and the marketing of food and everything. So
Right. I think we've lost the art of cooking and just being in the kitchen um, as a society. And I think that's something that we really need to get back to doing,
yeah,
like cooking our food. And I mean, we're all, I guess we all fall prey to just the convenience of, fast food and just having things, at the tip of our fingers. But
hmm
yeah, really cooking your food and knowing the source, where it comes from, that's important. And that's truly lacking
yeah,
right now.
of course.
So,
I mean, women are kind of failing their duties and staying in the kitchen. So I just wanted to lighten the mood up a
no.
little bit, so it's all good. now, now, like back when I was a kid, right? We was always fed like the food pyramids, like the major food groups, right? And milk was
Hmm.
always on there, right? So as I did like a little research as far as like why are black people lactose intolerant? Are you lactose intolerant?
Thankfully, no, I am not.
You're not.
Um,
Oh wow. Okay.
no.
Well, what I saw is that like I saw like this map as far as like people who are lactose intolerant, right? It just seems like people who live closer to the equator, they are lactose intolerant, and people who live more away from the equator, as in like the like America or in Europe, Russia, they they pretty much are lactose tolerant. But as if people are your descendants are living closer to the equator, then more than likely you will have that I guess that gene that would make you lactose intolerant. I thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I've never heard that explanation for
Hmm
it. I have heard that, yeah, people of color, so even um, like Asians, could be lactose intolerant, and of course, yeah, African Americans.
It's
I mean,
It's
basically,
South Asia. Yes, they were kind of included
okay,
in that lactose intolerant.
okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically, you and other people have a hard time digesting lactose, or you guys don't have that enzyme lactase to
hmm
digest the lactose. Um, Honestly, I don't know why that is. I could make some, I guess, guesses as far as maybe just the processing of milk and just other dairy products. Because milk now, it's pretty processed, you know.
hmm
It's heated to high temperatures, which pretty much destroys all the good enzymes and nutrients that's in it. Um, I don't know if you've heard of raw milk. People are starting to consume. I know it's illegal to be. You can't really buy it in a lot of states, but people swear by raw milk and the health benefits of it, and they're able to tolerate that better than like store bought milk or even goat milk or sheep's milk. So,
I mean, even if you could digest dairy products, specifically milk, should humans really be consuming other animals' milk though?
oh boy. So, I know people have that concern. If you could tolerate it, then I say, why not? I mean, we eat their meat. why can't we also, drink the milk that they provide? I mean, people
Yeah, but
ancestrally. Oh,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah, but it's two different things though. Like meat is protein, so obviously, if you're a carnivore, yes, of course you got to consume the meat in order to kind of like have that benefit of that type of diet. But as far as the whole dairy thing, then yeah, it's two different things though, right?
Um, well, milk does have protein in it.
Okay, so at what level?
So,
Okay, so let's just say a 16-ounce steak versus a 16 ounce of milk. What's the different levels of protein in each one, as far as your estimation?
well, yeah, of course. I mean, 1 ounce of protein is about 7 grams of protein.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, steak or any type of animal protein like meat is going to have more, yeah, actual protein. And I'm not saying that we need to be drinking gallons of milk a day. I
I
mean,
I
but
can't do it.
having, yeah, having a glass of milk, especially, if you could tolerate it, um, that's fine.
Hmm. Okay, all right.
So,
Um, Now, in regards to as far as like your short-term plans and long-term plans, as far as like, are you going to likely stay in the clinical setting for like as long as possible, or do you think you could kind of like do this on your own, as far as start your own business, like kind of like work in close proximity with personal trainers, because personal trainers, I'm not sure if they have like a lot of knowledge of nutrition. I mean, they probably would be considered nutritionists, but as far as registered dietitians, I mean, they could probably use your expertise as far as the way that y'all could kind of go in tandem as far as um, having like the best results with people just trying to work out.
no, you're right. There actually are a lot of gyms that are starting to hire registered dietitians to really, yeah, work alongside personal trainers.
Mm.
As far as me, I do see myself still staying in the dialysis realm for a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
I have thought about, doing private practice or maybe consulting, um, but I'm still a little timid. I just feel like the market is so saturated with um, dietitians, doing private practice and having different programs and online courses. So, but I guess the longer that I wait to jump in, the the harder I guess it will be. I just need to do it. So I don't know. Maybe as I get older, I don't want to disclose my age, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe in the next couple of years, that's something that I'll, yeah, consider.
Now, have you ever heard of Dr. Sebi?
I have. Um, I
And
don't know too much
okay.
about him, but I have heard his name circulate. I
Mm-hmm.
believe he was like a herbalist. I don't think he was an actual medical doctor.
No, he wasn't.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
He wasn't. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Um,
As far as his practices, like, do you have it like a legitimate like opinion about it, or you just kind of like neutral about him?
well, from the little that I know, I mean, my opinion is obviously he was helping people. I mean, people said they had good results from him. And I'm like, I'm not going to knock anyone that says, you know, either, they were healed or, their health improved because of the things that, he taught them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, from what I remember, I think he was pretty much anti meat. Like, he didn't really think that we should eat meat. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I think he
Yes.
was more still like plant based
Mm-hmm.
um, type of nutrition.
Yeah.
Um, oh,
Yeah, I
Yes.
actually, well, I kind of knew the backstory as far as with him because that was his author named Aqiyl Aniys. He wrote a book called Alkaline Plant-Based Diet.
Okay.
I read this book
Mhm.
maybe like 4 years ago, and he pretty much kind of like he's like a Dr. Sebi disciple, I guess. But yeah, I read his book and hey, a lot of good information, and I need to read that book at least once a year just to kind of like have some type of recurrent you know, information as far as what I need to start consuming because when I was doing the vegetarian diet, I mean, I felt very lighter, more energetic. I mean, my mind was clear. So once the kids get a little bit older, then I think I might just go with a plant based diet forever because I am getting older. I'll be 50 in less than 10 years. So
Oh, okay. Less than 10 years.
less
Okay.
than 10 years, yeah.
So I'm just curious, real quick. You said that you were doing a vegetarian diet,
Mhm.
but then you stopped.
Mhm.
Why was that?
Um, I probably gave in because I was probably on vacation and I would just wanted to eat some seafood. And once I ate the seafood, then I just pretty much just kind of like just got rid of my vegetarian status at the time, and then I just stayed back eating meat. I don't eat pork as much. I will probably eat maybe have some bacon bits in my salad. But as far as red meat, I try to not eat as much red meat. I mostly eat poultry and seafood. So as far as a percentage, I would say maybe 65% seafood and 35 poultry. And also, I try not to
Okay.
eat meat every single day because I kind of want my body to kind of digest whatever meat is in my body. So yeah, I try to go every other day right now as far as eat meat or whatever.
Interesting.
So like,
Okay.
are you thinking less of me just because I started on a vegetarian and now I'm eating meat now? Like, it just seemed
Oh,
like
no.
it seemed like you
No,
were kind of
no.
offended that I went back to eating meat or something.
No. And see, that's the ironic thing. So when people find out that I'm a dietitian, they just seem to automatically assume that I don't eat meat,
Hmm.
which is, I don't know. I don't know why, but I am a big advocate for eating meat.
All meat,
Mm-hmm.
even pork.
Yes. All animal products.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Now, have you ever been
So,
on a plant-based diet, or you always had this stance of, I'm just going to eat meat no matter what?
um, so of course, growing up, I mean, I always ate, different types of meat and poultry. But then as I got older, I hate to really call it this, but I think as the propaganda towards, not eating meat grew or started to permeate society, I did start to, I guess, jump on the bandwagon of meatless Mondays or maybe doing a little like 21-day meat fast. So just like not eating meat for 21 days and just,
Hmm.
seeing if there's any difference. And honestly, like now that I look back on it, I don't really notice a difference, or I didn't really notice a difference
Hmm.
in anything. Um, so I understand when people want to take, a break if they're doing some type of cleanse or maybe trying to figure out some type of health issue. Then yeah, maybe pulling things out of the diet, and meat could be one of them. But I don't believe that abstaining from meat and animal products long term is healthy. And I know I'm probably get pushed back on that, but
You are part of the
yeah.
Western medical industrial complex, so it doesn't shock me for you to even have to stand. So
Excuse me? What does that mean?
Just take it however you gonna take it. But I mean, it's no diss. It's no diss at all. I mean, obviously, I'm eating meat now, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, it was like some propaganda going on. Like let's say 10 years ago, because I was watching like a lot of documentaries. Was what made me do a juice diet because I saw Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. It was a
Okay, yeah.
documentary from this Australian dude. He went through a juice
Mhm.
cleanse for I want to say like 90 days or something like that, and he lost a lot of weight. And I tried it.
Right.
I lost
Mhm.
maybe 20, 25 pounds just from doing a juice diet because I bought one of those juicers that would crush up the fruit instead of just chopping it up. But
Okay.
yeah, I want to say it's called one of those omega juicers. So yeah, I was doing that juice cleanse for a little bit and I saw results immediately. But after a while, I believe that your body would plateau on certain diets, and then you just got to switch it up a little bit. And I also saw Forks Over Knives. To me, that's the best documentary I've ever seen when it comes to the whole Western way of like how we consume food and all the marketing that's associated with it. So Forks Over Knives to me is the best documentary I've ever seen. I mean, I need to watch that documentary again just to kind of like get me back on track if I was to start a vegetarian diet again. So I would start from there. Then I would reread the Alkaline plant-based diet book that I just told you about.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay.
I would highly recommend that you read that book as well, just to kind of
Okay.
just so that you can kind of give me your thoughts about it and also like if you was to kind of like work along with a personal trainer, right? And someone was to tell you like, hey, I think I'm thinking about going vegan or I'm thinking about going vegetarian, but I still want to have a like intensive workout regimen. Do you like do you know how to like give them a like a tailored meal prep guideline?
Yes. So
Okay.
I
Okay.
can, honor their wishes and try to tailor that to, yeah, what they need. I mean, there are plenty of vegan and plant-based protein supplements out there, which is what they're going to need a lot of if you really
Mm-hmm.
want to, gain that muscle mass and see some results. Um, Ironically, right now, I do have a patient who is a vegan and on dialysis, and he's struggling with protein. Like his protein status is slowly going down. And I'm like,
Are you
dude, you
recommending
need
that
to
he?
supplement.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So do you recommend that he should try meat or any other substitute?
so because I'm still fairly new at this facility. I'm still, trying to learn the patients and build that rapport with them. So I'm not gonna try to change his mind and have him, you know, stop being a vegan. Um, just more education as far as if you want to continue with this lifestyle of being a vegan, you still have to find ways to support that lifestyle and make sure that your health is still on track. Um, and yeah, supplementing with those vegan based protein powders or protein bars because your diet alone, like your food, and I am totally, real food first. But if that's not working, then supplements have to come into play
Mm.
because your protein status is pretty important, especially for dialysis patients. So,
Any idea how long? Well, you know what? I'm not gonna ask that question. I don't want to ask you personal questions about your patients. So yeah, we'll just skip
oh,
that. Um, like, do you have any inspirations or like mentors that you kind of look up to that's like mainstream? Like, let's just say Dr. Ian Smith or Martha Stewart or Paula Dean. Like, do do you have any? Do you have any people that you kind of look up to in the food industry?
so I'm trying to think of maybe names that you might know or maybe that your audience might know. Um,
Bobby Flay.
no.
I know
So,
Bobby Flay. Okay.
well, no, he's not my person.
Okay.
Um, I was thinking of. So so real quick, I don't really have, I guess, chefs per se that I look up to. It's more so um, doctors and other like functional medicine practitioners in that space. So like Dr. Mark Hyman, I don't know if you heard of him, from the Cleveland Clinic. Okay.
Okay, I heard of the Cleveland Clinic,
Um,
but not that doctor. Okay.
okay. Okay. Well, maybe this helps. So so I'm a podcast junkie. So I listen to a lot of um, nutrition, wellness type podcasts, but they more so lean towards the paleo, ancestral wisdom type nutrition. So people that I guess more so align in that side of the camp
Hmm.
are the podcasts that I listen to. And I guess if I throw out names, I don't know, yeah, if you're gonna know them, Rob Wolf,
I heard of David
Mark
Wolf.
Sisson.
I'm not sure if he's related, but
Okay,
I heard of David. Have you ever heard of David Wolf?
yeah,
I
but
read I read his
I don't
book
think they're related.
Superfoods.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I read it like 10 years
Oh,
ago.
do you know Sean Stevenson? He seems
No,
to be more mainstream.
Sean
Okay.
Stevenson. No,
Mm-hmm.
no, never heard of him. I
Okay.
had to look up these names, but to me, like the most mainstream that I know of that's black is probably Dr. Ian Smith because he wrote a couple books and he's always on TV. He was on the Doctors as far as a co-host, and remember that 50 million pound challenge that he had like 10 years ago. You remember that?
Mm-mm.
You know what? Like back then, you probably wasn't into this whole like diet. Um, I'm sorry, dietitian field. So yeah, it probably wasn't even in your purview. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember The Biggest Loser, but
Yeah, I believe he was on there as well.
that was about
Just
it.
yeah, okay, I got you. All right. So
Yeah.
okay, so yeah, so your inspirations are more of like doctors and like and whatever you could find on podcast format.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I don't know if you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast
Oh
or
yeah,
the Joe Rogan Experience.
this is my favorite
Okay,
podcast.
so maybe you listen to this episode with Rob Wolf and Diane Rogers, and she's a registered dietitian. And I think their episode aired fairly recently, maybe last week or so.
Okay. All right.
Um,
All right. I'll check it out.
yeah, I haven't listened to it fully. I think maybe like 30 minutes or so. So I do want to finish that. But I think
Mm-hmm.
that will be an interesting um, one for you.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Sounds good. Let me see. Now, what is your take on the body positivity movement? Now,
Yeah. So,
now, now, let me kind of preface the question. So, yes, people may have mental issues when it comes to using food as like a way to kind of cope with whatever's going on in their life. So, I'm not talking about them. I'm just talking about the average person who just don't have the discipline to like not consume so much food and not going to be active to kind of burn off those calories. And when it comes to the whole mainstream of the whole body positivity movement, as far as putting any old type of figure on a magazine and kind of force the masses to accept that type of body style, to me, I think that's unacceptable. I mean, there's a normal weight. We all should
there's a
strive to
what?
be normal weight
Okay.
as far as like body style. I think we all should be striving to like stay as healthy as possible, maintain a healthy weight because I mean, as we get older, it's going to cost the taxpayers into paying for their medical bills. So I mean, I don't think I'm saying anything controversial. I'm just saying like it's good for everyone if we stay as healthy as possible, and food is the gateway into staying healthy. And obviously, I'm being a hypocrite because I do vape, so but I plan on quitting. But I do have like a little common sense, a little knowledge as far as like what I know, what I should eat, what I shouldn't eat. So it's like what? So okay. So the body positivity movement. What do you think about it, like in general?
So at first, I'm like, what is going on? Because I'm like, I feel like we have just swung in the opposite direction drastically. At first in the 90s and I guess early 2000s, it was, being super thin, near anorexic type, body shapes. And that was glorified. And it's like now we've just swung completely in the opposite direction to the opposite extreme of, glorifying pretty much obesity.
Hmm.
I feel like we should just stop focusing on bodies as far as, like, yes, from the romantic sense, yes, people have their preferences for physical attraction. But as far as health, I don't know if we need to be focusing so heavily on, what your body looks like as far as weight. So I don't agree with health at every size. I know that's another, movement too, where you could be whatever weight and healthy. I still believe there are limits to it, you know,
Hmm.
because at a certain point, studies show that having excess abdominal fat that does increase your risk for diseases like cardiovascular disease and metabolic syndrome and stuff like that. So yes, there needs to be a cutoff as far as
Hmm.
how heavy you are going to allow your body to get. But I think the constant focus on the body, I don't think that's healthy either, if that makes sense.
Okay. All right. I actually like that. I like that answer. But I have one more
Okay.
question for you. So, if you were Lizzo's registered dietitian, how could you get her to a respectable, healthy weight? And how long would it take you to like get her from her current size down to a healthy weight?
So, in full disclosure, I did not know who she was. I've heard her name like thrown around. Seriously. I mean, yeah, I don't listen to, you know, mainstream music like that. So I did have to look her up just to kind of okay, who to see who she was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, weight loss, that whole field, I personally try to stay away from that. Like I do not like counseling people on weight loss and weight management because it is so
Political.
well,
It's,
not
it's
just
getting
political,
it's getting
but
political. Yeah.
it involves a lot. I know you mentioned earlier about the emotional side because yeah, there is emotional eating, and I think there could be like psychological issues as well. So I feel like there's a whole team approach that probably needs to happen
Yeah, but
for
honestly, though,
someone.
honestly, I don't think that really applies to her because she is screaming from the mountaintops. Hey, you all better accept my body. I'm sexy. I can get any man I want. I mean, she's
Okay,
not this damsel and like victim. She is out there
right.
wanting everybody to accept her. So that's why I
Yeah,
had to
so then
ask
she
about her.
probably wouldn't want me. She probably wouldn't want me then as a dietitian. I mean, she's not wanting to lose weight.
Uh,
But I mean, I would educate her on just, healthy eating habits and maybe making healthier food swaps. But I think also what I read, she lost some weight, if I'm not mistaken. Like she lost some weight, but I don't know if she gained it back. But, and again, with the whole
Lizzo
her
and weight
body size,
loss. Lizzo with the words
yes,
weight loss. I never saw those two together in any article ever. I never seen
Rob, I think you need to look again.
it.
I did see it. I saw it. I saw
Okay.
it.
Okay.
But my thing is, real quick, with the body size, if you think about how you look, feel, and perform in your body. I think those are the things that matter. So from what I saw, she seems to be performing, I guess, in her body size.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
very
mean,
proud.
even though she looked that size, I mean, it'd be interesting to just see her blood work, to see what her labs look like. Because I know some people who are, heavy set, and you would think they have diabetes, but they don't. I mean, their labs look pretty darn good.
Those are the
And I mean, they
exceptions.
don't look.
Those are the exceptions. Those are the exceptions. We're talking about in generalities. I'm just messing with you.
Right. And I know. I mean, because there could be skinny fat people as well who
Yeah,
look the part, but they are
and those are the
extremely
exceptions as
unhealthy.
well. Those are the exceptions as well. So, yeah. But
So, yeah.
anyway, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you. I mean, hopefully we can have you back on. We could probably talk about some other type of thing that deals with food or whatever. And well, yeah, I definitely hope that you definitely excel and more of into your field. And I know that you just started it recently, and yeah, I'm sure that you will do fine if you was to kind of go into your private practice. And yeah, I appreciate you coming out. And yeah, you had a very intense workout, and you pretty much it's pretty much nighttime, and I know you're tired, so I really appreciate you coming
Yeah.
to the podcast.
No, thank you for inviting me. I know it's been a long time coming, so thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, no problem, no problem. All right, tell the hubby I said what's up, and yeah, and we'll reconnect real soon.
All right.
All right,
Tell the family I said hello as well.
all right, thank you, appreciate it. I will do. All right, see ya.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye.